In our next exercise, we need also to find the output of a piece of code that involves arrays. In line 1, we are declaring an array of integers, and this array is initialized by the constants 2, 1, and 10. In line 2, we are also declaring another array of integers of size 5. The system by default will initialize all of its elements to 0. And in line 3, we have a variable that's called index, and it's an integer, and its initial value is equal to 0. In line 4, we have a for loop that is for each loop. It is on array list 1. And the variable used for visiting the elements of the array is called x. So x in the first iteration will be equal to 2, then it will be equal to 1, then it will be equal to 10. Remember here that x is just a copy of the element of the array. So when we change the value of x, then the value of the element that corresponds to its index variable will not be changed. So let's begin and see what will happen in the first iteration. In the first iteration, the value of x is equal to 2, and in line 6, we are testing for this element. If it is even, then we go into line 7 and 8, and if it is odd, we go to line 10 and 11. Now, since x is 2, which is even, then we will execute line 7 and 8. In line 7, we are moving the value of x, which is 2, into array 2, but at index, the value of index. Value of index is 0, and list 2, this is the array. So in fact, we are moving 2 into the first element of array list 2. In line 8, we are increasing the value of index, and index was 0, now it will become 1. In the next iteration, the value of x will be equal to 1, which is the next element in the array. And we need to test in line 6 whether it is even or odd. And since it is not even, then we will go to the else statement at line 9, and line 10 will be executed. In line 10, we are increasing the value of x by 1. See, the value of x is 1. And also, it represents the second element of the array, which is equal to 1. But these are different copies. 1 inside the array is not the same one that is inside x. X has only a copy of the index variable. So when we change the value of x at line 10, and becomes 2, the value that corresponds to the index variable of x is never changed, because x will receive only a copy. And when we go to line 11, we are printing the value of x, and the value of x is 2, so therefore on the output screen we are going to have 2. In the next iteration of the for loop, the value of x will be equal to 10. And again in line 6, we are going to test whether this value is even or not. And this is the value of x, which is equal to 10. Since it is even, then we will execute line 7 and 8. And in line 7, we are moving x, which is equal to 10, into array 2, which is list 2, but where? At index 1. Where is index 1? This is index 1. So we are moving 10, replacing list 2, index 1. And at the same time, at line 8, we are increasing the value of index by 1, and index will be equal to 2. After the loop is finished, we are now in line 14. In line 14, we have a print statement. It is printing a message index equal to, followed by the value of index, which is equal to 2, and this is the output. In line 15, we have a for loop that is processing array list 1. How did I know that this loop is processing list 1? Because see, we are printing list 1, and I, the index, is the loop variable, and I starts from 0, it goes up to less than list1.length. So we are processing list 1. In fact, we are printing the elements of the array list 1, each element on a single line, and this is the output. In line 17, we are processing list 2 by the for loop, but I, as an index, is not going until the end of list 2. It is depending on index. So I is first 0, and since it is less than index and index is 2, so the values of I will be 0 and 1 only. So what will be printed on the output screen? Only the first 2 elements of list 2. And this is the output.